So today I'm going to be sharing a finished object, some works in progress, my sewing inspiration, and I have to remember to talk less. Also, I hope you would grab your needles, a project that you'd like to work on, something warm to drink, and come knit with me. Let's get started. Hi there. Thank you for joining me on the second episode of Sweet Lavender Knits. My name is Christine and I'm coming to you from just outside of Toronto, Ontario in Canada. Thank you so much for all of you that took the time to watch my first episode and for the lovely comments both on Instagram and YouTube. I really appreciated that. Thank you. I felt very welcome, and I have to say I knew that this community is a very, very kind and giving community, and you guys just proved that over again. You can find me on Instagram as sweet_lavender1 and on Ravelry as Ferncrafts. I'm going to put both of those down on the screen. I'm sorry about the first episode where I said my Ravelry name ID was Sweet Lavender 1. There was some sort of a glitch on Ravelry where I did go ahead and update my name, but because of some technical issues it did not get saved and I've not been able to resolve it up until today. So if you need to find me on Ravelry, I am Ferncrafts, and I hope to change my name to make it a little less confusing to all of you. So today I have some show notes to keep me on track and to talk less, because as much as I enjoy talking, I don't think all of you have the time or want to hear me ramble on forever. So I will try to keep it shorter maybe than last time and get through the things I wanted to share with you. So I know here we've been suddenly getting spells of cold, which is expected. I mean, we do live in Canada, and we haven't seen as much snow. Actually, we haven't seen a lot of snow. We were expecting some today or last night, didn't show up. I'm not complaining. I mean, I like to look at the snow, but I don't like to have to commute in it or drive in it or shovel snow. But then again, I don't shovel snow. And just those kind of things. And I don't enjoy when it's too cold. Yeah, so I am okay with it. I like it cool and warm, and I think fall is amazing. Spring is my best season. It's just new beginnings and all of that. Stop talking. Okay, back on track. All right, I will start off right away. Oh, let me share with you what I'm wearing. And this is the snow melt shawl. I think it's called the snow melt. It was part of the snow melt. Oh, I'm not saying this right. It was a part of a mystery knit along hosted by the Curious Handmaid, and this was my first mystery knit along. And as much as I loved the experience of finding out the pattern as we go along, the part that I was not comfortable with was my yarn choice, and that had nothing to do with the pattern or the shawl itself. It was just my yarn choice. I kept questioning it, and I'm like thinking, I don't know if I've used the right colors together, but well, let me just show it to you. I think I like it, and there it is. I can't, oh, maybe I'll hold it out like this. There. So this we did, it started at the end of February maybe, or early March, and it went on for about 4 weeks, and every week you got a new clue, and there were 4 clues, and you were done with the shawl. I love how cozy it feels, but I have to confess that I've been wearing it at home without weaving in the ends until today, when I thought, okay, I'm gonna put it on the podcast, I better weave in my ends, and which I did. So let's hope I got the right side in front. Yeah, I did. Okay, and I just wrap it around like this, and yeah, it feels nice and cozy. And if I stand up, there, it's got this nice thing to it. Okay, it is warm in the house, so I don't know how long I'll keep it on, but we'll see. First up, finished objects, and I am happy to say that I have a pair of socks to show you. Surprise, surprise, it's the pair of socks that I was knitting last week when I told you about them. These are the socks for my mom, and they are knit out of Berger de France Gumi 50 in the colorway Imprint Beige, I think. That's the main color here. And I just did a simple pattern of 2x2 ribbing for the cuff, and then 3x1 ribbing, broken rib for the the leg and the top of the foot, and stocking that on the bottom. A simple decreased toe with Kitchener at the end, and I did a eye of partridge heel. Whoops. There. So very simple, and I have not blocked them yet, but I put them onto blockers just to show you what they were. I didn't tell you the last time, the heel, I was fumbling through it, is a mini as part of a bundle of minis from Snail Yarn, and I picked this up at Loop London, and it's in the Vintage Romantic colorway or bundle. And yeah, they're the muted colors, and I like them, and my mom, you know, is not into flashy colors, like I said, so that's my finished object. I only have one. So I have a lot of things on the go, so going forward I might have more than one to show you, but this time it's just one. Okay, so on to my works in progress. Let's start with, I'm sorry, I have my notes written down, so I'm going to be glancing down here at my notebook, and I might have to bend down right now to pick up something. There we go. All right, this is sock project, and it's part of the Merry Sock Cal, hosted by Ellie from Craft House Magic. Hi Ellie, if you're watching. And Ruth from Knitterarium. The two of them are hosting it, and it runs from 24th of November all the way to 24th of December, so it's just in time for you to have a pair of socks to wear on Christmas Day, I guess. I am knitting the Evergreen Socks by Madeline Ganon, and this is what I've knitted so far. Show you upside down, and here are my little evergreen trees. There are 4 of them, and then I did a fish lips kissed heel in a white, and I love how this white picks up on the green with the specks of green in there. I hope you can see that. Okay, I have to get better lighting because I wanted you to see my little Christmas lights, and so I've closed my drapes, which makes it darker, but now the colors are all yellow. Anyways, I'll get better at this, I guess, with time, hopefully. We'll see. The yarn is a lovely yarn from Lichen Lace, and it's in the Lichen colorway. It's a 80-20, I believe, yes, 80-20 merino nylon. I am not very good at caking yarn, so yes, just letting you know. I've tried all kinds of things. I don't know, maybe it's my cake or yarn winder. yarn winder. That is the problem, I don't know, but for now that's what I'm going to be using. And I'm not the best at caking, so this is not to show off my caking skills, but more the yarn. And it's a nice, how do I say, it's a green, not a very dark green, a light green. It's tonal, so you got flecks of yellow, and I think I saw a little bit of blue in there as well. Lovely yarn. It's very, very soft, and I love the tonal look to it. There. Yeah. And I'm not the best at showing things either. I've got yarn all over the place. Okay. There. So, I know I said I usually knit my socks concurrently, but I really felt bad to break up this yarn into two balls. So I just left it at one, so I have to knit the whole sock and then go back and knit the other one. So I'm going to be trying that with this one, just because I didn't want to break the yarn into two, or separate them into two. So what have I told you everything about this? Yes, so this cal goes on up until December 24th, so I should have this done by then, and I'll pop a picture on Instagram for those who want to see the finished product if I don't get around to doing the next podcast by then. Yes, we'll talk about that a little later. Okay, if I look like I've shifted, it's because I had to go and get my project, which I'd forgotten to bring with me. It is the Color Affection shawl that I had talked about in my last episode. And here is all that I was able to get done. Not a lot, but I'm past the first part, or first color, I think. And now it's gone into the stripes of the second, yeah, if I hold it back, the colors are very muted, like you see. It's a very light gray, and then it goes into a pink, a very light pink. And there's stripes actually, which is not very visible at this point, but they will be as the colors get darker. So I'm into the second, and that's all I've done. I am using my Knit Picks nickel plated needles for these. It's the interchangeable set. It's one of the very first sets that I got, and it is the only set I have with the largest sizes on it, because I tend not to use the larger sizes. So I have a few sets with the smaller size needles, and Knit Picks starts, I think, the set at 3.75 millimeters, so it's got to be, yeah, so it works for me for now. So the shawl isn't too wide yet, so I just have it on a 24-inch cord right now, and that might change if the shawl gets too wide. Yes. Okay, so the yarn that I'm using, like I said, it's from Fondant Fiber, and I believe it was called, oh God, and I tried to be careful and write things down, except I forgot this one. I'll put it up on the screen. But yeah, that's the Pale Lavender. Oh, it's got all of the mauve colors, and here is the pink. It's a very nice blush pink with speckles in it. Sorry, not speckles, sparkles. Sparkles in it. And these are silver sparkles, so it's a stellina, silver stellina. And then what I didn't show you last time was my third color, third yarn which I would need to use. So like I said, the pinks will gradually, it's a gradient set, so they gradually get darker. And then the third color I wanted to use was this from Townhouse Yarns, and it is in their Grafton base. I hope I'm saying that right. In the Grafton base, and it's 100%, sorry, what am I saying, 80% merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon, and it's called Alter Ego, the colorway. and it's got the mauves again. So I thought it'll go together. I mean, I did want to keep it all in the same family, and I know the colors kind of blend into each other, but I didn't want a very wide contrast in the colors. And we'll see. By the time I get to the place where you have to add in the third color, I might change it because there is another Malabrigo yarn that I have some left over, and I think I have just about a little less than 100 grams, so I should be able to use that one too. But I'll have to see the whole thing knitted up to that point to know which yarn goes better. So that might change. On to the third work in progress is a project that I started a little while ago, about 6 months ago. And it was supposed to be a welcome present for my nephew when he blessed us with his presence in the world. And then at that point, I ended up, I hadn't had it ready. So then I just, you know, because the summer months were kicking in, I decided to move it into a Christmas present. And so I'm working on it now to try and get it ready for Christmas. So I should be able to. And let me tell you what it is. Well, I'll show you what I have so far so you can kind of guess what it is. That's what I have so far. Okay, and to, you know, not like I'm gonna just tell you in about a minute, but I'll show you anyways. That might make it a little more obvious. Oops, I'm not doing this right. Okay, there. That might make it a little more obvious. So obviously it's a toy. It's a stuffed toy, and it's my very first time knitting a stuffed toy. I got all of the pieces ready, and then I just got unsure about how to go about the stuffing part, and you know, put it off for a bit. But no, now I have to get it done, and it's going to be his Christmas present along with a few other things I have in mind. So it is the pattern is the boy bunny with a piebald patch by Julie Williams of the Little Cotton Rabbits. And okay, if you've never checked out her Instagram feed, go and look her up. She's Little Cotton Rabbits on Instagram, and all of the pictures are so pretty. So I'm doing the pattern without the piebald patch, and of course I knit the whole body of the rabbit in bunny in this gray and white. It's almost like a barber pole. Again, sorry for the messy yarn, but there, yet gray and white, and it is acrylic but very, very soft, and it's by Stitch Studio by Nicole Storybook Fanfare, and the colorway is called Teacup Gray. So yeah, and it's 100% acrylic, which will be fine. I mean, if she needs to, if mom needs to throw it in the wash or something, it should be okay. And he will have a little sweater on him that is going to be, so when my nephew was born, I made him a little sweater, and I'm using the same yarn, which is, I'm using the same yarn to make the sweater for the bunny. And whoops, right here, yeah, it's a very light blue, and it actually has some sparkle on it which you cannot see, and it's an off-white yarn. I forgot what this is, but this is the Knit Picks Felici, and I'd used it to make a pair of socks. I had some leftover, actually a whole ball left over, which I used for his sweater, and now I'm gonna make some I'm gonna make the sweater for the bunny out of that. So those are my works in progress, and I can't wait to get those things done, especially the, oh, and let me share this bag that I have the bunny project in is from K2 Knit 2 Together, like K2 TOG. Okay, and then one more thing about knitting. This is not a work in progress. It's not going to be anymore. But I wanted to show it to you before I frogged it. So it's held here in my lovely project bag from Herbslat Creation, which is Regina on Instagram. I think she's Herbslat. And I got this project bag from her a while ago, and it is so sturdy. And now she's into yarn dyeing, which is nice too. Okay, so I got this lovely yarn. It's the Croft by West Yorkshire Spinners, Shetland Tweed, and it's in the colorway Clousta Run. I don't know if there are two things there, so I'll show it to you. And I got 2 of these yaks or skeins. I got 2 of them from our trip to Edinburgh, and I like the yarn. It's very nice. It's how do you say? It's nice and warm and chunky because I'm not used to knitting Aran weight, I think it is. It's 100% Shetland Island wool, and it's Aran weight. Yes. Okay, so, and I got all excited and cast on because I knew exactly what I wanted to make with this chunky yarn. Is a nice cable cowl, and I found myself a pattern, and I started off the cables, the cowl, and it is nice. It's very, very nice. It knits up really well. The cables show off very well as well. But I tried it on at this point. I tried it on, and it was a little itchy against my neck, and I am the most, I guess everyone is, the most sensitive near your neck, and I could not see myself wearing this, and especially when it's cold, you want it right up, and you could feel it being prickly, and I didn't like that. So there was no point in me continuing this project and then not enjoying wearing it. I wanted to make it for myself, and so I thought, no, I have to use the yarn in a better way where I can still enjoy it and allow the yarn to do its magic. So I am going to frog it. I'm sharing this with you because I do still like the idea of a cable cowl, and I just have to find a different yarn that's soft and squishy. But this yarn is now going to become hat and mittens, and I know that I would enjoy it better. So it's going to be frogged, and yeah, I will share it with you at that point. So those are my knitting projects. So this time I do want to share with you some of my sewing inspirations, and I call them that because I haven't really got out to do anything, but I will be this afternoon, and I have to move quickly because these are things that I'm going to be working on for Christmas. So I have to move fairly quickly. First off, I'm going to be making for myself the Sorbetto top by Colette, and I will put a picture up here. It's a very simple construction and quite easy to do. I just wanted to try out the sizing of Colette for tops, and that's why I took this. It's a free pattern, so if you want to try your hand at sewing and don't want to spend too much for a PDF or a pattern, this is a free pattern and you can just download it. With this, I just wanted to see if the pattern will fit me, and so I got some inexpensive material that also looks sort of festive, and wanted to try my hand at this sorbetto top. So I'm not quite sure what this material is, but it feels a little satiny, but it's definitely not satin. It's not stretchy either, but it has a nice shine to it, and it's got a paisley pattern on it, and it has nice drape, really nice drape. So I thought I would use it for the sorbetto top. I think I got 1.5 meters of it, and that was because on the sorbetto top pattern you have the option of making it either a tank top to your waist, or else you could make it a tunic length as a tank top, or there is an option to have it with sleeves. And I thought I would opt to do it, try it on with the sleeves and see if that would be if it would work. And of course, to have the tunic length, it might, you know, it'll be longer, but no, not this time. I just wanted to try it with the sleeves. So that's gonna be something to look forward to, and if I get it done, I will definitely share pictures with you. I've been requested by my daughter to make her a dress for Christmas dinner, and we're going to our family's house for Christmas dinner, and she wanted something not too dressy but casual and still, you know, feminine to an extent. So anyways, she opted for a dress, and this is the material that she picked. So let me show you this is for the skirt, and it's a lovely gray, and it's got a little bit of the purple on it. You really can't see it, and it's got browns and beige, and so it's very versatile. And the black, if she wants to wear a black sweater over it, that'll pick it up too. And the top half is going to be in this, oh, it's shining so much. Okay, I do need better light. It's just it's the cream on the fabric that it picks up on. Okay, so yeah. And the pattern that we're going to be using is, I want to show you this, but then to say that we might have picked up the wrong size. So it's going to be something like this. Is by Butterick, and it's B6299, and she likes the dress without the coat, without the jacket, but just the dress. So that's the one that she has opted for. And it also gives you the lovely dress there with a princess cut, or you could have both this option with the jacket and do that. So yes, and so the schematics are on the back, and we will be making D right there. The only problem is I wasn't sure. I mean, I'm looking at it this morning and trying to figure out which size it is that I wanted to start on, and realized that we may not have picked up the right size of the pattern. So I'm not even going to open this for now. I'm just going to try and recreate that dress, and we'll see how it goes. Or I might open it, we'll see. but that's where the inspiration is, and I guess that's why I called it Sewing Inspirations, because I really haven't done anything as yet, and you know, but I do have all these things that I wanted to do and thought I'd share it with you. And that's it for my sewing part of it. So yeah, as far as knitting, coming back to knitting, I am quite busy because I have a few things that I'm doing as gift knitting apart from what I've shown you. My works in progress are not, I'm not showing you everything that I do have. That would be just silly because I'm not fast. Like I've said, I'm not a fast knitter, so I thought I would just share with you the things I'm currently working on. And there are quite a few things that we need to do before Christmas, and over the last 2 weeks it's been quite busy at just, you know, busy lives at work, as well as each of my children and my husband have been taking turns being really sick. And I know this thing has been going around, and I hear a lot of people saying that, but we've all been taking turns, and thankfully I haven't had it so bad yet. The last few days I've been down a little bit, and I'm still congested slightly, but it hasn't been anywhere as close as they've had it. So I didn't get a lot of knitting done, and hopefully I will be able to finish these things in time for Christmas. As the other thing I wanted to share with you is all of you probably know Danny from Little Bobbins, and every year she has a Christmas Eve cast on that a lot of people join in, and for the past 2 Christmas Eves I've been able to do that as well, and I would like to continue that. So the past 2 years I've always knit a sock project, and I think that is mostly what people would start off with, is to cast on a pair of socks. This year I wanted to do something different, still with the Christmas Eve cast on tradition, but to cast on something besides socks. So I have here this growing basket, if you can see where am I pointing here, beside my little Christmas tree, is it's got all the leftovers, scrap yarn and minis, and some of them not so mini, they're quite large. And there is another box over there where you can't see it, and I wanted to be able to put all of those to good use. And my daughter has been asking me to make her a blanket, and I thought this would be a really good project to start off on Christmas Eve as my cast on. And I was hoping to join in very late to the party, but in the Attic 24's Granny Stripe blanket. I think I'm saying that right. I'm not sure. If not, I'll put it up on the screen. And every one of you have probably seen this project knit by somebody, or you've knitted yourself. Or it's not knitted, actually, it's crocheted. And it allows you to use up a lot of your scrap yarn, and it just comes out as a very colorful blanket. And I thought that would be my crochet project. And then I thought, wait a minute, this is a Christmas Eve cast on, so technically it might mean knitting. I'm not sure. If it does, then I would like to do the mitered squares that you knit as you go. And she wanted it to be organized and not just a splash of different colors. So I told her we could do like kind of a gradient, sort of melting the colors into each other. We'll see how it goes. And she was okay with that too. So I have to decide between the 2 blankets, and it's either going to be the squares or it's going to be the stripe, the granny stripe blanket that that's crocheted. But either way, I'm starting a blanket on Christmas Eve. And let me know what you guys are starting, and I would love to know what your projects are. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I didn't ramble on too much this time. I will be doing some more editing, more than I did the last time, and try to get this to a reasonable amount so as not to bore you to death. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, happy knitting. Bye bye.